Step 10 for intimacy anorexia. That is our topic today. So if you've been watching, thank you so much, but stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, I find that hard to believe, but please do that. If you have a question, add that. We'll get to it as soon as possible. So stay tuned as we talk about step 10. Step 10 for intimacy anorexia. Again, if you are on this journey with us, you are doing amazing if you've gotten this far. Now, hopefully you're working your workbook and you're doing the extra work on this so that you are getting the benefits of that, and you're also using some of the other things like, how to help your spouse heal from intimacy anorexia so that you're helping them heal along the way. Hopefully you're in a group doing all the right things. But let's get to step 10, because step 10, 11, and 12, they go kind of rapidly. So let me go through step 10. Continue to take personal inventory, and when we're wrong, promptly admit it. Now, this is especially pungent for the intimacy anorexic. So let's walk through this. That, we did our fourth and fifth step, and we admitted that we were wrong, and we went to our bad box, and we cleaned out our bad box, and oh my gosh, all that stuff was there. And not just as, if you were acting out maybe in a sexual addiction or other addictions, but the withholding and the cruelty of that, you really faced that head on. And I'm really proud of you for doing that. But step 10 says, you're gonna keep making mistakes. You're gonna keep having to say I'm wrong, because you get to. Because humans are flawed. And it's one of the things that if you've gotten this far in your recovery, I really hope your heart got that you're flawed and loved, not flawed or loved. You don't have to be an object. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to pretend. You're able to do this step, which is continue to take personal inventory. Now, as an IA, I would say part of your personal inventory would be to make sure that you're keeping track of busy, blame, withholding love, praise, sex, spiritual, emotional, how engages your heart when you're doing your dailies, and do those kind of things. But also, just in your life in general, if there's other people or things that you're doing that you need to track or be aware of, or you get that prompting in your heart that says, ooh, that wasn't the best idea, that was not good, or that was really wrong, go back and apologize. When that little voice talks to you, that's what the step is talking about. That you continue to take personal inventory. And when you're wrong, don't take weeks to admit it. Get rid of it. What I find is that, a couple things. One, that especially if it's with your spouse, they know, and it's just gonna build up plaque until you're honest about it. And it's gonna get worse. So what you wanna do is if you missed doing your dailies, or you acted in some way, you were busy, you spent 3 hours in the garage or 3 hours doing your hair or whatever it is, and you really were withholding, and you kind of got caught, just be honest about it. Just be honest about it and say, honey, I was withholding. I was wrong. I did cause you pain. I did pull away. I did use silence on you. I did punish you for having sex. I stayed disconnected, or I wouldn't talk to you during sex, and I was actively withholding because, I'm anorexic. Don't blame them for why. Just, I was wrong. So get used to saying that. And step 10 says, get used to saying that. And when you're wrong, promptly admit it. So you don't only want to be aware, like take your inventory and go, okay, that wasn't right, but you also want to go, and I admitted it, and generally it's best within 24 hours or as soon as possible. You do not want to keep wrongs in your heart. It'll make you feel bad, and it can also cause you to continue to act in. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to protect your mistakes. You want to proclaim them. And if you proclaim them, my experience is you reduce them, and if you hide them, you multiply them. So you don't want to do that. So take it from me, do your step 10 and do the workbook. Keep track of it. I think for as many days as we talk about there, and get used to that kind of process of just checking in with yourself and making sure, is there anything I need to own today before I go to sleep, especially with your spouse, because that's where most of your IA stuff is going to show up with. If there's others, again, same principle, let them know that you made a mistake. Not a big deal. Live in the grace that you are human. And that means you make mistakes and you do things that are not always in your or others' best interest. That's life. Accept life on life's term and just admit it when it happens. That's step 10. Now work your workbooks, keep making your phone calls. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that so you get notified on step 11 and 12, and also so many other things to help you in your life and your marriage if you're married. And we want to help you. So please, if you have a question, send it to us. And until next time, we'll see you later.